Okay, this is question 17. I have it done here, so I'm just going to zoom in on bits and pieces as I'm talking about them. So the first thing we'll do is look at the question. On one table in casino, there is a deck of normal playing cards. On another table, there are two fair die. So it costs €10 to play at each game. At the card table, you select one card from the deck. You win €30 if you draw a heart, but you lose €5 if you draw any other suit. So this little table down here, I've done up to do to show this, right? So you've got your heart on one side and you've got any other suit on the other, right? So probability of drawing a heart, because there's obviously 13 hearts in the deck of 52, so it's one in a quarter, and all other cards then would mean you've got a 3 1/4 chance of pulling any other suit out of the deck. €30 is your payout. Sounds great. But if you pull any other suit, you have to pay another €5, so you lose €5 on top of the €10 that you've already paid. So you have to keep that in mind. So multiply a quarter gets multiplied by 30. Multiply that by that, you end up with 7.5, and do the same over here. Multiply 3/4 by -5, and you end up with minus 3.5. So what does all that mean? Sorry, move that out of there. So we add up those two numbers. So 7.5 minus 3.5, you end up with, yet again, 3.75. Take away your €10. So that looks like, oh, you win that, but then you have to take into account that there's the €10 that you paid to enter the competition. So in fact, you actually end up losing $6.25 if you play the card game. Now, the dice, you roll two dice at the other table. Once again, it's €10 to enter, but this time you're rolling two dice, and the numbers, you have to add the numbers up, and if you get a 10 or an 11 or a 12, then you win 50 quid. Sounds brilliant. You get anything else, you lose €2. So here's a two-way table done up. If you roll two ones, for example, you end up with a 2, right? You know what a two-way table looks like. If you roll a 1 and a 2, you'd end up with a 3, and so on. So these are all your outcomes, right? There are 36 of them in total, and you'll notice that, I missed one out there, it's 9. You'll notice that there are 3 ways to get a 10, 2 ways to get an 11, and 1 way to get a 12 playing this game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 ways that you win if you play this game. Okay, you either roll a 6 and a 4, 2 5s, or a 4 and a 6, a 5 and a 6, a 6 and a 5, or 2 6s. So any of those will produce 10s or 11s or a 12. So 6 ways to win the game. So here we go. You can roll a 10 or 11 or 12, and that's your €50, but there's 6 out of 36 is the same as 1 out of 6, so that's where this is. 1 out of 6 is the probability of rolling a 10 or 11 or 12, or rolling any other combination. The word is meant to say combo. Rolling any other combo from the die is going to be 5 out of 6, the probability of that happening. The 10 or 11, 12, there's €50 reward for that, so it's your probability, which is 1 out of 6 multiplied by 50, which gives you 25/3. Any other combo, the probability of that is 5 out of 6, you multiply by -2 to give you -5/3. So again, we have to do our sum of our outcomes by our probability. We do that, we end up with 20/3. 25/3 minus 5/3 is 20/3. 20/3 is the same as 6.667. So it looks like you're up. No, you still have to account for the €10 entry fee. So the €10 cost has to come into play. So €6.67 minus €10 leaves you down €3.37. So it's slightly better than playing cards. Up here, the casino has you down 6.25. Down here, you're only down 3.37. So, I mean, probably you can play this game a little longer if you're in it for a certain amount of time, but you're still going to be losing. So, the last part of the question, it said something to do with the difference in them. Is that right? What is the difference between the two expected returns? So what's the difference between minus 625 and minus 333? So, I mean, what's the difference between 625 essentially? 625 is it? Yeah. What's the difference between 625 and 333? So take one away from the other. 3 from 5 is 2. 3 from 12 is 9. And 4 from 6 is 2. 2.92. €2.92.